No rich families, no connections, just bold ideas. And an iron will today will show 5 who go for billions breaking the rules. One brings mammoths to life. Another is building the AI of the future. A third is turning codes and numbers into billions. Who are they? And who's next to crack the Forbes Billionaires list? Born in Texas, not in a mansion, but in a modest home where every dollar counted. From a young age, Ben Lamm knew, if you want results, you have to hustle. While other teenagers were saving up for consoles, he was saving up for a laptop. He studied, programmed, created, and even before graduating from college, he started his first business. By the time he was 25, he had already founded several startups. One was helping students study, another was working with NASA. But the real leap came in 2021, and it sounded insane. Colossal Biosciences. The goal? The resurrection of extinct species. Yes, the resurrection of mammoths. Everyone said, "This is crazy." Ben replied, "This is the future." Colossal's science team has attempted the impossible, using the genetic code of the woolly mammoth embedded in the cells of an elephant, and create a hybrid, not just an elephant with fur, but a creature capable of surviving in the Arctic tundra. The goal is not just science, it is to fight climate change. Mammoths, they calculate, can restore the tundra ecosystem by slowing the melting of permafrost. Today, Colossal is more than a lab. It's a symbol of the tech-driven future, a new frontier of evolution, where science meets dreams of tomorrow. The money flowed in. Peter Thiel, Cathie Wood. They didn't just invest, they went all in on Ben. In 2025, Colossal's stock was up 300%, company valuation, aiming for tens of billions. And Ben Lamm, now with a $3.7 billion fortune, but he's not buying islands and yachts. He says, if you can change history, you have to do it. Prediction? If Colossal keeps the momentum going, he'll be in the Forbes top 100 before the end of the year. And if the dream of bringing a mammoth to life becomes a reality, he'll be in the textbooks. From Texas to the genetic elite. From an ordinary guy to the creator of a new era. From Texas to the genetic elite. From ordinary guy to architect of a new era. His name, Ben Lamm. He's not just building a company, he's rewriting the timeline, one prehistoric step at a time. This is not a story about money. It's a story about a man who decided, if AI is going to be a god, it has to be good. His name is Dario Amodei, a physicist by training, a philosopher by nature, and one of those who pioneered the artificial intelligence we use today. He started at Google Brain, then moved to OpenAI, where he worked on the first GPT models. He's seen AI learn how to joke, argue, write poetry, convince people, impersonate an expert. And he realized, we're not just creating technology, we're creating a power that humanity has never encountered before. And in 2021, he's leaving OpenAI. The reason? Disagreement on the most important issue, AI security. OpenAI, in Amodei's opinion, was moving too fast to create superpowered AI with no guarantees that it would be controllable. Thus, Anthropic was born, a discreet but ambitious startup. Its mission? To build instructive AI, not just text generators, but systems that understand context, ethics, and act in the best interest of humanity. They don't have aggressive press releases. They don't have viral videos. Instead, they have research, protocols, transparency. Anthropic publishes documents on model testing, on risk levels, on the boundaries of AI freedom, and it turns out to be in demand. In 2025, Anthropic attracts $3.5 billion in investment from Google, Amazon, Salesforce, and more. The total valuation is $61.5 billion. This makes them one of the most expensive private AI companies in the world. Dario's own fortune is $1.2 billion, and it continues to grow. But his goal isn't yachts, not islands, It's to make sure the AI doesn't destroy its creators. He said, "You don't understand GPT until you try to teach it not to lie." And that's not pathos, that's his job. His younger sister, Dario Amodei, is the co-founder of Anthropic and a former vice president of OpenAI. Together, they are building a startup that may one day run the infrastructure of the entire internet. Their main model is Claude, named after philosopher Claude Shannon. It is the one that competes with ChatGPT, but bets not on power, but on ethics. If the trend continues, by December 2025, Dario Amodei will rank among the most influential AI billionaires. But even if the money fades, the ideas will outlive it. He's not a blockbuster hero. He's not a Silicon Valley star. He's just a man who realized to save the future, you have to start coding it now. Dario Amodei. Billionaire not by the will of the market, but by the will of the mind. In the shadows of informational headlines and noisy news feeds, hardly anyone notices him. This is Hao Tang, a quiet giant, an investor whose success story goes unnoticed, but leaves an indelible mark on the world of business and technology. Hao was born in a humble corner of China. His family could not boast of wealth or famous connections, but from his childhood in him burned desire for change, for more. He watched innovation transform the world and realized the future is created in small steps, in decisions made early on. As a young man, he became fascinated with technology and started working in digital solutions. Working in traditional companies could not satiate his thirst for innovation, and Hao turned his attention to the mobile market, an area where technology and entertainment merged to create unlimited opportunities for monetization. It was here that he saw the potential to change his destiny. Taking a risky decision, he invested his money in Lamm, a platform specializing in the monetization of mobile games. The decision turned out to be fateful. His strategy was not just to buy shares, but to carefully analyze the market, predict trends, and believe that mobile games would become the main driver of the digital economy. In 2025, his faith was rewarded. Lamm's stock rose 300%, turning his investment into a golden asset. Today, Hao Tang's capital is valued at $4.3 billion, an amount that inspires respect even for those used to public stars. Despite this level of wealth, he remains almost anonymous. His face rarely appears on the covers of glossy magazines or news programs. Instead, Hao works in silence, behind closed doors, quietly and methodically building his digital empire. The world doesn't know him by name, but it knows him by numbers that speak for themselves. In a world where brands and names often shine brighter than deeds, Hao Tang proves that true greatness sometimes goes unnoticed. His business is one of constant forward motion, innovation without hype, and a strategy for long-term growth. Forecasters are confident. Its path is one of the most rapidly evolving. If the current trend continues, Hao will join the ranks of the most influential and wealthiest people of the year, becoming one of the fastest-growing billionaires of 2018-2025. In a world full of colorful public faces, his quiet presence is a reminder. True success doesn't always require deafening noise. He is building an empire that speaks for itself, an empire based on clear calculations, smart investments, and silent confidence. Hao Tang, quiet but relentless, creator of a digital empire whose story is just beginning. He was born in China, not into a family of bankers and billionaires, but into an ordinary home where success was measured by good grades and university enrollment. He had no capital, only a scholarship and ambition that could not be stifled. Justin's son attended Peking University and later the University of Pennsylvania. At the age of 26, he became a student of Jack Ma himself, got into the elite business school Hupon University, where future entrepreneurs of the new China were trained, and even then he was a dark horse, always arguing, asking too many questions, thinking 10 steps ahead. In 2017, he launches Tron, a blockchain platform designed for one purpose: to demonopolize the internet. He said, "Content shouldn't belong to corporations. It should belong to people." Tron entered the market at the height of the crypto boom. Hundreds of projects burned in those flames. But not Tron. Justin forms alliances with BitTorrent, Samsung, Opera, buys up NFT, launches stablecoins, builds an ecosystem, and in 2019, he causes a furor by winning a $4.5 million lunch with Warren Buffett, just to talk about cryptocurrencies with someone who hated them. He later gave Buffett a cryptocurrency wallet, not as PR, but as a symbol of an era that is replacing the traditional economy. But Justin is more than just a businessman. He's a character from the Web3 era. He became Grenada's official representative to the WTO, earning diplomatic status. He's not just launching stock exchanges, he's opening up nations in the meta-universe. He is both an entrepreneur, a showman, and a new kind of politician. 2024. Donald Trump returns to the White House. Amid a global turn to the right, the financial industry reopens its doors to crypto. Bitcoin breaks through $100,000, and the capitalization of Tron, as well as Sun-related platforms, soars. In 2025, Justin Sun's personal fortune is $8.5 billion. Most of it is in digital assets, NFT, DeFi, and tokens, and it only seems to be heating up. Analysts' prediction: Tron could become one of the key blockchains for government agencies in Asia and Africa. Sun is in talks to integrate digital currency with national payment systems. He's not just a crypto trader, he's an architect of the new economy. But all of this is without official titles, no awards, because for him, power isn't a tie and an office. It's access to codes, to wallets, the keys to new realities. Justin Sun is not just a billionaire. He's a symbol of the crypto chaos where new kings are born. He's not afraid to be loud. He's not afraid to be misunderstood. But that's why he's becoming a legend. He doesn't look like a typical Silicon Valley billionaire. No hoodie, no hype, no memes, or meta-universe. Michael Dorrell is a man who makes money on the ground, not in the cloud. Literally. He was born in Australia, in a family far from investments and big capital. He took his first steps in his career in banks, paving the way from scratch. No connections, no big names, only analytics, discipline, and uncompromising logic. He later moved to the United States, a country where infrastructure was outdated and capital was looking for somewhere to invest. Michael saw this not as a crisis, but as an opportunity. Bridges, power grids, telecommunications, data centers, railroads, water systems all needed updating. He realized, while some are building meta-universes, someone has to fix the real world. And in 2011, he launched Stonepeak Infrastructure Partners, a private equity firm that invests in the things that no startup, no city, no internet user exists without. But it's not just an infrastructure fund. Stonepeak is investing billions in the future, betting on sustainability, renewable energy, undersea cables, telecom fiber, and power grids in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. In recent years, Stonepeak has grown to a giant with tens of billions under management. They control the base of all digital civilization, from data centers to communications backbones. And Michael Dorrell, calm as ever. He hardly ever gives interviews. He doesn't convene the NFT. He's not promising to change the world. He's just building it anew. In 2025, his personal fortune is $8.5 billion. And while some around him are high on artificial intelligence and others on digital earth and meta-universes, Dorrell is investing in concrete, cables, and solar panels. His companies provide stability in a world where everything is shaking. Ironic, but that's what makes his fortunes unshakable. Michael Dorrell is a billionaire who does not seek to appear futuristic. He just knows. Without bridges, without power, without connectivity, no future will happen. And while the rest of us are arguing about what tomorrow will look like, he's building it, already today, brick by brick, billion by million. He's not promising revolution, he's financing it. Which one of them will be the richest? Ben Lamm, with an army of genetically resurrected mammoths? Dario Amodei, if his AI becomes the world's new brain? Justin's son, if crypto finally replaces banks? Hao Tang, with a quiet digital empire without the noise and glory? Or Michael Dorrell, the man who holds the entire infrastructure of the future in his hands? But you know what? That's not the point. The point is that they all started from scratch. Not with a title, not millions. They started with an idea. The new generation of billionaires comes not with a last name, but with audacity, a belief that the rules of the game can be changed, and with a willingness to risk everything to win everything. Now, look in the mirror. Why aren't you sign up if you want to know who's going to be the next king of capital? Or maybe we'll talk about you in the next issue.